Welcome, my mech heads. For the next couple weeks, we're going to be doing a little bit of a special. Unlimited Brettworks did a video about a month ago for beginners titled Gundam Versus Quick and Dirty 15 Tips for Beginners. And within these 15 tips, he had a list of 6 mobile suits for beginners to try out that he felt were beginner friendly enough to learn the game and still have fun. Well, after speaking to Brett, he gave me an updated list and some advice for people who are beginners, because I do videos for beginners. So let's get into this. We're going to start off with Blitz Gundam first. Alright, we're going to do things a little bit different for these segments because there's not a lot to cover with most of these Gundams. They're pretty simple, but we're going to cover some details and then keep the ball rolling. So Blitz Gundam is a 300 cost Various F type. Various F meaning that he's a various balance between offense, well, not offense and defense, but range and melee. The F part stands for fighting, so he's got more animations in fighting than he does in shooting. Blitz Gundam has a very unique array of attacks. He has some stuns. He has a pull move that also stuns. He has an invisibility cloaking device which breaks tracking completely. But even though it breaks tracking, it's not permanent. Well, I shouldn't say permanent. It's not a full track breaker. With his R2, he has a dash, and as you see, he can go invisible, or he can cloak himself for a short amount of time before he swings. With that cloaking, and Blitz Gundam's cloaking overall, he does break tracking, but if, say, a missile or something that's locked onto you is still following you, when you come out of your cloaking, you're still going to get hit. There's a possibility of you still being hit. So, if you press back and melee, or back and B for Legacy Arcade users, his left arm is a grappling hook, and he can throw it out. It stuns the enemy and pulls them in, which you can also do this during combos. So some tips for this move: you want to throw it out, pull them in, do your combo. You can extend your combo by doing it again and then go invisible afterward once the gauge is full. So when you go invisible, that way they can't get up and hit you automatically. Like they can if they're lined up with you through line of sight, but like I said, invisibility breaks tracking, but it doesn't break line of sight shooting. So as you see with the damage done, you can do a lot with your blaze gear. It's a Various F, so which means he does damage in fighting. His burst move does really good damage. He goes invisible, so he can't be tracked. And like I was saying before, whenever you do things, getting to the habit of going invisible afterward to break enemies' tracking, so that way you don't get shot from behind, your enemy doesn't get up and hit you. Very cool things for Blitz Gundam overall. Now, getting into Blitz Gundam and what I think he's good for beginners and what he's not good for beginners. I say he's great for beginners. I think Unlimited Brettworks, he nailed it on the head. Like when I played Blitz Gundam, I had so much fun. Like he's got the cloaking like Death Scythe if you're into Gundam Wing. But he's also got a lot of just uniqueness, like you can extend his combos, you can stun, like he can be that really good support for your teammate if your teammate is a 500 or a melee aggressive type, or he can be that aggressive type himself. He doesn't do a lot of damage himself per se, but with his stuns and his pulls and his mobility, he's actually pretty dangerous, especially when you add in the cloaking, because the cloaking, even though the gauge takes a little while to fully load, you can get in and out of situations very easily. Think of him as like an assassin type Gundam. He can get in, he can get out, he can do damage, he can win games, he can support, he's a little bit of a jack of all trades. And with that in mind, when you play him as a beginner, keep all this in mind, that he can be a great partner for anybody. He can be a standalone if he needs to, but most of all, he can fit into any situation and still come out on top if you remember to use his assets, which are, like I said before, his stun, his pull move, and his cloaking. Even his dash, you know, like you can just cloak, get behind people, and just destroy them, and then run off, you know. Or if you're chasing someone, or if you need to protect your partner because your partner is a 500, let's say, and you see that the enemy is focusing only on your partner because they're like, oh, you know, this 300, who cares? Let's go after, you know, Sazabi or New Gundam or someone that's a 500, or Epion. You can come at them cloaked, help your teammate, and then pull the pressure off of them. You can even get kills. Like if your partner is the 500 or 400 and they're doing significant amount of damage to your opponents, you can get in and finish them off and help your partner. Like Blitz Gundam is great for beginners in this type of setting because of the fact that he just works, you know, and it doesn't take a lot to learn. It's mostly just have fun, play around with his abilities and his moves, and then, you know, once you get the hang of what he's about, you're golden. Like as you can see, like he can take people one-on-one. He can do everything. He's a great various type, and you can use him as a pure shooter if you need to. You can use him as a pure fighting type if you need to. The only thing that might bug you is, like I said before, he doesn't have high damage for a 300, but it's decent damage to where you're gonna annoy people. You know, you can get off some combos, you can get behind them, you can disrupt their combos and everything, and that's what really makes him good. An assassin type Gundam. Alright, so to wrap this up, Blitz Gundam, excellent for beginners. Excellent type. And that's the reason why I chose him first. Out of the 6 and the extended list that's soon to come. But I chose him first because he's a great Gundam for beginners and for veterans too. Cloaking is exceptional. Like I said, it doesn't permanently break tracking, but if used right, you can get an advantage. The other thing I want to say is, remember to have fun out there, because if you're not having fun, then you're gonna lose your passion for the game. Being a beginner, things can be really hard, and everybody needs a little help and guidance. Sometimes it's hard to reach out to people, other times you just don't know where to go. And for the next couple weeks, this is going to be purely based on getting to know some beginner Gundams to get out there and have fun that don't require a whole lot of technical play. You know, trying to do too many combos, Brett picked his mobile suits out good for that list to get people involved in the basics. So leave a like if you liked this video, if it helped you out. Like I said, we have more videos coming for the next couple weeks. We're going to cover and hit all these 6 Gundams. Not only those 6, but an extended list that he gave me for beginners also. Alright, so I'll see you later, mech heads, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want to see Brett's quick and dirty video, it is in the link. The link is in the description below. And I will see you guys out there on the battlefield. Peace.